Oliver, not long ago, we were sitting in these very chairs discussing Greek banks, and you suggested they still, despite precipitous falls, had not reached value territory. Anyone who ignored your advice has endured a lot of volatility since, especially today when we've seen unbelievable moves in the shares. What's the news?
So today, as you say, big moves in the shares. The Greek banks opened down up to 25% in some cases this morning, and then they recovered now. They're down about 8%. So a lot of volatility through the day. The big news is what the European Central Bank did last night. And what it did was change the terms on which the Greek banks can borrow emergency money from central banks. Previously, a lot of the banks had taken money from the European Central Bank using Greek government debt and other types of government-related debt as collateral. Now, the European Central Bank has said a lot of that collateral can't be used to access ECB money. The result of which is that the Greek banks will have to go to the Greek Central Bank to access emergency liquidity instead, where some of this collateral can be used.
Why is that such a big deal from the point of view of the banks? Emergency funds from the European Central Bank, emergency funds from the Greek Central Bank, central bank, emergency funds are emergency funds, surely.
Well, in the short term, there's an earnings hit. The emergency funds from the European Central Bank are much cheaper than the emergency funds from the Greek Central Bank.
Right.
So there'll be a hit to earnings. Credit Suisse thinks between 3 and 9% for some of the banks. So it's not great for earnings, but really, that's not the main point here. The real significance is politically what this means. And this is very much the European Central Bank trying to distance itself from the Greek banking system. And it's really quite a tough political move.
And the stocks are telling us what? This violent move in the stocks are telling us
that maybe people are worried this is a prelude to a Greek exit from the Eurozone, or that the European Central Bank and other European institutions are going to be very tough with the Greeks. But I think the other worry is for the banks, well, what does this mean for deposits? There's been a lot of deposit flight from Greek banks as Greek people have got very worried about what's going to happen to their economy and what the recent election result means. So a lot of deposits have been going out. If this forces people to panic and the deposit flight gets worse, well then the Greek banks are in even more of a problem situation, and they have to take even more funding from the central bank, which just reinforces this problematic situation that we have.
So, Oliver, if you had your euros sitting in a Greek bank, what would you be doing with them today?
Crossing my fingers.
Thanks, Oliver.